What is Lexis? If you are studying for the TKT Module 1, you need to show that you know how to categorize words. Today, I'm going to tell you what Cambridge expects you to know to ace the TKT Module 1. But first, make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video so that more and more teachers get to know the TKT. Are you already subscribed? Now, let's go! Hello exam seekers, I'm Patty and today I'm talking about the TKT Module 1 Part 1 Lexis. As you have probably been following my posts about the TKT, you know that I've already posted a couple of videos explaining what the TKTs are and how they are assessed. However, it is good to remember that the TKTs are a series of tests designed to encourage teachers in their professional development by providing a step in their progression on the Cambridge English teaching framework. Candidates can also use the TKT to access further training and enhance career opportunities. The TKT is divided into 3 core modules: the TKT Module 1, Language and Background to Language Learning and Teaching, the TKT Module 2, Lesson Planning and Use of Resources for Language Teaching, and the TKT Module 3, Manage the Teaching and Learning Process. And there are 2 specialist modules, the TKT CLIL, Content and Language Integrated Learning, and the TKT-YL, the Young Learners. Every teacher knows that methodology is an essential aspect of the lesson. However, it's not the only important thing. You need to know what you're talking about and you need to know the content you're teaching. When sitting for the teaching knowledge test, you need to show that you know grammar, functions, the rule of error, selection and use of teaching aids, and so many other things. But the TKT Module 1 will assess you in relation to the amount of knowledge you have about the language you are teaching. My last video about the TKT was about TKT Module 1 Part 1 Grammar. Today, I'm going to talk about the TKT Module 1 Language and Background to Language Learning and Teaching Part 1 Describing Language and Language Skills, Unit 2, Lexis. Last time I talked about grammar, which describes how we combine, organize, and change words and parts of words to make meaning. Another aspect of the language is the Lexis. Both Lexis and grammar are important, but if we don't have the words, we cannot combine them to make meaning, right? So, what is Lexis? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, it means all the words of a language. To be more precise, you should know that it is an individual word or set of words, as in vocabulary items that have a specific meaning. For example, tree, get up. First of all, here is a sample of how Cambridge assesses your knowledge about Lexis. TKT Practice Test. For questions 1 to 5, match the examples of vocabulary with the categories listed A to F. There is one extra option, which you don't need to use. Examples of vocabulary: 1. Impossible, unhappy, disadvantage, rename. 2. Hard work, a heavy subject, a great idea. 3. Wonderful, marvelous, brilliant, great. 4. Longest, director, wooden, slowly. 5. Oranges, apples, mangoes, bananas. You have to match them to the categories from A to F. A. Synonym. B. Collocations. C. Compound words. D. Lexical set. E. Words with suffixes. F. Words with prefixes. So you have 6 lexical items that you should connect to the 5 sets of vocabulary. There is one extra item. As you can see, you need to show that you know the categories of the vocabulary you use. Why? Because, for instance, if you are going to ask your students to write some antonyms, they first need to understand what an antonym is. Secondly, they need to know how to form an antonym. And by telling them that it is a word with an opposite meaning, they can write dirty for clean or write untidy. For the second word, untidy, they need to understand it is a word formed by prefixation. As teachers, you need to know before explaining. You must know the categories to teach about categories. So, you need to study denotations, synonyms, antonyms, opposites, lexical sets, words with prefixation and suffixations, compound words, collocations, and figurative meaning. It is not that difficult, but many teachers, especially students, don't have a clear understanding of these concepts, which impedes the learning process. Take a look at this table. Here on this table, we have the vocabulary items, as I've mentioned, and we have 2 examples of words, okay? So, for example, clear, it's an adjective. As a denotation, we can say 1. Easy to understand. 2. Not covered or blocked. And 3. Having no doubt. A synonym for clear is simple or certain, connecting to the meaning from the denotation, okay? Antonym, confusing, untidy, covered, or unsure. Lexical set. There is no lexical set in this case. Prefix-based word, unclear. Base word plus the suffix. Clearly, clearing. Compound, clear-headed. Collocations, clear skin, a clear day. And figurative meaning, a clear hat. Take a look at paper. It is a noun, so it has its own denotations. There's no synonym for paper, not even an antonym. Lexical set, so paper can be stone, plastic, cloth. Prefixes, there are no prefixes. Suffixes, paperless. Compound, paper knife, paper shop, paper bag. Collocations, to put pen to paper. And figurative meaning, on paper. For example, it seemed a good idea on paper. So you see how you need to know the complexity of the word. You need to know each aspect of it. Well, another thing that you can see from this table is that some words, as I mentioned, might have more than one denotation, but you always figure out the meaning by the context the speaker is using. Words can also change their denotation according to what part of speech they are. For instance, the adjective clear and the verb to clear. Another interesting aspect is that not all the words have all kinds of forms, as I've mentioned. That is not always possible to find synonyms for words, as very few words are very similar in meaning. So, now that you know what to look for, why don't you pause the video, go back to the sample, and try and answer the test. Keep in mind that really knowing the words means knowing all of their different kinds of meaning. Moreover, it involves understanding its forms, how they work grammatically, and how they are pronounced and spelled. Well, I do hope I have helped. If you still have questions about the second item of the TKT Module 1, please comment in the comment section below. I will also leave the links for all the videos and all the materials I've talked about in this video, as the link to buy the TKT book, which is this one. So make sure you get it and you use it to study if you are planning on doing so. Alright, well, that's it for today, and I hope that this video was useful for you. Don't forget to like this video so I'll know that this content is relevant for you. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that every time there is a new video, YouTube will tell you. Alright? Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching me and see you next time. Remember that knowledge is never enough. Bye bye. Okay, no, not much noise. Yay. I was wrong. Bye-bye. Oh, wait a minute. I was just forgetting to tell you the answer key for the task. 1F, 2B, 3A, 4E, 5D. I hope that this was useful. Bye-bye.